Covered in swollen ticks, this warthog carries a burden it cannot remove alone. Around the ears and neck, the softest skin has become a feeding ground for parasites. At the ear base, the parasites gather in clusters the warthog cannot reach. In the deep neck folds, the infestation grows thick enough to make every movement uncomfortable. Even the shoulders and chest are crowded, leaving little space untouched. Across the back, the burden spreads, wider than the warthog can manage. The deepest folds carry the worst clusters, hidden where the warthog cannot clean itself. It shakes with force, but the parasites refuse to let go. It fights back as best it can, but the worst places remain out of reach. It rubs against rough bark, searching for relief that never fully comes. The struggle is quiet now, written in the way the animal simply stands and endures. So the warthog waits, unaware that help is already watching nearby. Then, sharp-eyed oxpeckers notice the burden written across the warthog's skin. The first cleaner approaches cautiously, judging whether the restless animal will allow contact. The moment of trust begins when the first bird lands, and the warthog stays still. A second cleaner joins, drawn toward the richest clusters around the ear and neck. The search narrows, from the whole burden to a single parasite chosen for removal. The first peck is careful, but it marks the beginning of relief. Stillness becomes cooperation, giving the birds the time they need to work. Soon, the first pair is joined by others, turning caution into collective purpose. Now the work becomes visible, a swollen tick shifting under the pressure of a red bill. The warthog can do only one thing now: remain still and let help begin. Now the real work begins, as a small team spreads across the warthog's burdened body. At the neck, where the burden ran deepest, the birds begin clearing real space. Around the ear, precision matters, and the birds work with remarkable care. Across the shoulders, each swallowed tick makes the burden a little lighter. The thickest clusters become the first targets, stripped away one parasite at a time. For the bird, the warthog's burden becomes an immediate meal. Working side by side, the cleaners turn feeding into a coordinated cleanup. Some parasites resist harder than others, but even the largest begin to give way. Already, the warthog's body begins to soften as the first relief takes hold. One bird clears 2 parasites in seconds, wasting neither movement nor meal. As one region clears, the cleaners move toward the next untouched cluster. Even the hidden folds are searched, where the warthog needed help most. For a brief moment, the savanna becomes a place of quiet cooperation. Only the densest pockets remain, and the birds turn to them with renewed focus. A parasite breaks free, and another painful point disappears from the warthog's skin. Patch by patch, the warthog's back begins to reclaim its natural surface. Even the face, too sensitive for rough rubbing, receives careful attention. Together, the birds turn scattered feeding into a coordinated effort across the body. The deepest folds hide what the eye misses, but not what the birds can find. For the cleaners, each meal leads directly to the next search. The deepest pockets finally begin to open, leaving cleaner skin behind. Only a few strongholds remain, and the cleaners focus everything on them. The difference is now visible from a distance, the body looking lighter than before. Relief reaches the face first, softening an animal no longer trapped by constant irritation. Where the shoulder was once crowded, only scattered remnants remain. The body softens now, no longer driven by relentless discomfort. The work is nearly done, reduced to careful checks for hidden stragglers. Beneath the bird's work, the warthog's skin begins to look like its own again. Even the hidden lower folds now need only one final check. Even the savanna seems calmer now, as if the tension has drained away. The transformation is clear now, from burden and restlessness to balance and calm. What remains is not suffering, but the stillness of a body finally at ease. The cleaners leave one by one, their work complete, and what remains is the same animal, yet clearly changed by the small lives that helped it. For the bird, the exchange ends simply, with a full crop and a safe perch. With the burden eased, the warthog finally moves, as if its body belongs to it again. Seen from above, this encounter feels small, yet it reveals nature's quiet balance. And in that quiet exchange, both lives go on, proving survival can also mean partnership.